Tonight on Cronkite News, we are 2 weeks away from Election Day, what the campaign trail looks like, and which presidential nominee is visiting the Valley again.
Plus, the important role Gen Z plays in this upcoming presidential election and how the campaigns are trying to reach these young voters.
And Grand Canyon University skates to the top of the rankings after last season's roller hockey championship. We'll have more on how they hope to do it again. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Brady Hansen.
And I'm Ann Perry. Thank you for joining us.
This is CBS News, New York.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. on this Sunday, October 27th. I'm Elaine Quijano.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Doug Williams. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning. We're joined this morning by meteorologist John Elliott.
Muy buenas noches y gracias por acompañarnos a las 11. Iniciamos con el rally multitudinario que el expresidente Donald Trump sostuvo en el Madison Square Garden de Manhattan.
Live from London, this is BBC News. The final push for votes in the U.S. election. Kamala Harris is in the must-win state of Pennsylvania and Donald Trump speaks to thousands in New York. Iran says it's not looking for war but will respond appropriately following Saturday's Israeli airstrikes. We speak to a prolific Vietnamese people smuggler as more than 2,000 people from the South Asian country have crossed the English Channel so far this year. And chaos and political drama rocks Japan's snap election as the country's governing coalition suffers a rare defeat. Hello and a very warm welcome to the programme. I'm Sally Bundock. We start with the US presidential election, which is just over a week away. Both candidates are making a big final push for votes.
2 ballot boxes set on fire just hours apart and hundreds of ballots damaged. I'm Mackenzie Richmond, and coming up, I'll bring you the latest in the investigations.
Caught on camera, a suspect on the loose following a hit and run involving a local patrol car. Also, some serious problems to solve for Portland's next mayor. Still ahead, the major bombshell that was just dropped for the current candidates.
First, live, local. The noon news starts now on Fox 12 Oregon.
Good afternoon. I'm Mia Villanueva. Welcome to the noon news.
Right now at 6, the search for a suspect.
Interfering with people's vote is un-American.
Ballots destroyed by fire in both Vancouver and Portland, and police say the cases are connected. I'm Evan Watson, and I'm following the investigations.
Plus, how to find out if your ballot was affected and how to get a replacement.
Then, a deadly week in East Portland as neighbors demand more traffic enforcement.
I mean, right now, do you hear anybody going 30 miles per hour?
And later, a new life for a long-time dream of a public market in Portland.
And we need to revitalize, and we need to really highlight what we do best, and that is the culinary art.
Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. Our top story here at 6, ballot boxes in Vancouver and Portland were set on fire this morning, and investigators believe the cases are connected. In Clark County, potentially hundreds of ballots were destroyed in a drop box at the Fisher's Landing Transit Center off Southeast 164th Avenue on Vancouver's east side.
The hunt for suspect after hundreds of ballots possibly lost in a ballot box arson.
This is the picture. It appears to be a Volvo.
Police say the fire is connected to 2 others in the past 3 weeks.
I just saw the news today on K2 that they burnt the ballots. So I went, I'm not taking any chances. I just dropped my ballot.
The arson targeting drop boxes in both Oregon and Washington, impacting voters.
We've been talking about ballot box security for a long time. It's something that we discuss every election, but this really put it into high gear.
We're on your side, digging into what election and local officials are doing to keep the process safe and secure. And with Election Day just 8 days away,
the City of Portland and our regional partners have spent months preparing and planning for the possibility of civil unrest.
City leaders tell us they are ready for whatever may come after the results.
This is a special edition of K2 News on your side.
Exclusively captured video. Our K2 News photographer recorded potentially hundreds of scorched ballots being raked out of an election box early this morning as officials now look to find who's responsible for placing an incendiary device into a ballot box both in Vancouver and in Portland.
Long lines like these are happening across many polling sites in Erie County as many of you are getting out early to vote. This is Eileen Buckley. Hear from voters coming up.
Plus, a mother in Chautauqua County missing for 16 years, but the search is picking back up. We'll have the latest on the investigation.
I don't even know what to say. He was just one of the good ones.
Right now on 7 News at 6, remembering a Marine veteran killed in a motorcycle crash in this area of Depew over the summer. I'm Michael Schwartz with ways on how you can help his family.
Plus, 2.5 years since the city of Buffalo gave Douglas Development the green light to revamp the parking ramp on Mohawk Street. But what's holding up construction? We'll tell you when you could expect to see some changes to that area of the Queen City.
Streaming live from downtown Buffalo, this is 7 News at 6.
Good evening. There is a renewed push underway tonight to find a mother of 3 who disappeared exactly 16 years ago today.
And behind that push, volunteers who want to bring some sense of closure to the family.
Right now at 11, the presidential candidates making some of their final pitches to voters.
1 week from today, you will have the chance to make a decision that directly impacts your life.
The fate of our nation is in your hands. It's in your hands.
It's your voice, your vote, and we're on your side. With just 1 week until Election Day, the candidates' messages to everyone casting a ballot. 7 News at 11 starts now.
It is time for a new generation of leadership in America.
Vice President Kamala Harris delivering her presidential campaign's closing remarks at the Ellipse. She stood in the same spot where on January 6, 2021, former President Donald Trump addressed his supporters hours before many of them stormed the U.S. Capitol. Good evening to you. I'm Scott Thuman. With both candidates' campaign closing remarks over, the focus now turns to election night, just 1 week away.
You have to tell Kamala that you've had enough.
It is time to turn the page on the drama and the conflict.
With just 1 week to go until Election Day, the presidential hopefuls are honing in on their message to voters.
And the Baltimore woman speaks out after an attempted carjacking that was all caught on camera. Why she's being praised tonight for her response.
From WBAL TV 11, this is breaking news.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Andre Hepkins.
And I'm Deborah Weiner. That breaking news is here in Baltimore, where police now confirm one of their officers, Eli Eugene Winston, has been charged with first-degree assault.
Now at 5, firefighters still on the scene of a massive building fire in New Haven. It took hundreds of firefighters to get it under control, and there are still hot spots tonight. We'll take you there with a live report.
A unique up-close look at the terrain crews are facing as they battle the Hawthorne fire. I'm Matt Caron reporting in Berlin as they enter a new phase of the operation.
The hunt is on for a suspect in last night's shooting at the University of Bridgeport, who police are looking for and what we know so far about the person shot.
Several more former cadets have stepped forward. They say the Coast Guard failed to protect them from sexual violence. We're bringing you reaction tonight to the growing list of accusers.
Now at 5, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin tonight in New Haven, where a massive industrial fire escalated to the city's first 4-alarm fire in 29 years. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 5. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The worst of the fire is out.
First, live, local. Fox 12 News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to this special edition of the 6 o'clock news. I'm Pete Ferryman. First on Fox, it's been a couple of days since hundreds of ballots were destroyed at ballot boxes in the Pacific Northwest, and authorities now have leads on a suspect.
This is KDKA TV News at 7:30.
We have less than a week to go now until the election, and right now a video is blowing up on social media, and it's putting a local remote polling place in the spotlight. Thanks for joining us tonight at 7:30. I'm Kim Gable.
Now at 11, the Supreme Court rules Virginia can resume purging suspected non-citizens from the voter rolls. We analyze what's next.
An emotional reunion in Norfolk.
I'm very happy to see her. I was worried about her for a long time.
Only on 13 News Now, a woman meets the Good Samaritan whose quick thinking likely saved her life after a crash.
A historic program prepares to move to a permanent home. New at 11, we talk to Team Norfolk Boxing about their progress. Right now at 11, we are digging deeper into what today's Supreme Court ruling means for Virginia voters. Good evening and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Dan Kennedy.
And I'm Dana Smith. So the conservative majority on the court blocked a federal judge's order and will allow Virginia to resume its purge of voter registrations of suspected non-citizens. Stephanie Johnson joins us in the studio with more. Stephanie.
That's right, guys. I spoke with an associate professor of political science at Virginia Wesleyan University.
We come in LA.
Breaking now at 11, get ready, Dodger fans. Your Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champs and are coming back home here to Southern California for a big championship parade this Friday.
And we are ready for you, Mookie. Celebrations getting rowdy tonight, though, with police declaring a citywide tactical alert. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Pat Harvey.
And I'm Chauncey Glover. Meanwhile, the party is just beginning in New York City.
Live, local, late breaking. 13 News starts right now.
Packing up a symbol of the desert. Someone is killing saguaros near downtown Tucson.
Beefing up security for Election Day. The big steps local officials are taking to protect polling places.
First, though, with just days until the election, both presidential candidates come to Arizona to rally votes in a race that the latest polls show is a virtual tie. Thank you for joining us for 13 News Live at 6. I'm Brooke Wagner.
And I'm Dan Maries. Arizona is one of 7 battleground states likely to decide the race for the White House. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are making their final pitch to voters here with dueling rallies.
Days out from the election, and the candidates are visiting the Valley tonight to rally the voters.
It is Halloween night. A few spooky clouds out there, slightly chilling temperatures. We'll break down that hour-by-hour forecast this evening and also highlight some rain chances for the weekend. All straight ahead in your First Alert forecast.
A new crime-fighting tool now being used by Metro officers. Only on Fox 5, we meet the department's new Robo-Dog.
Dramatic video shows crews rescuing a worker who fell into a 10-foot trench while on the job. Fox 5 gets an exclusive look at the technical rescue team and what they do.
We are local, Las Vegas. Fox 5 News starts now.
The two candidates vying to be the next president of the United States are here in Las Vegas tonight, rallying voters ahead of Election Day.
And former President Donald Trump just wrapped up in Henderson courting supporters there. Vice President Kamala Harris is also holding a rally in North Las Vegas tonight.
Both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are spending time here today.
There is nothing in the world that will stand in my way of fighting for you.
That Tuesday is a very special day. It's a big day.
With Election Day fast approaching, both candidates are trying to win over every local voter they can. We're live with their final Nevada Battleground Blitz, starting right now.
This is Decision 2024. Battleground Nevada, a News 3 election special.
And what a packed day for both presidential candidates again today, hitting the campaign trail. Vice President Harris started her morning in Arizona. Former President Trump started his in New Mexico. Now both candidates have their focus on one key swing state, Nevada.
Vegas 34 News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us on Vegas 34 at 10. I'm Melissa Bethencourt. Only 5 days to go in the race for the White House, and both presidential candidates made their push to voters here in Las Vegas. ABC has more on what former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris had to say at rallies they hosted here in the Valley.
Tonight, both candidates.
Coming up and live at 5, another political figure will be in western Wisconsin this weekend. Learn where Robert F. Kennedy will be tomorrow, first at 5.
Temps will warm back up above average this weekend ahead of our next chances for rain. I'm tracking that for you.
Also at 5, a fundraiser has been set up for the woman who was hit by a train this week. Learn how you can help in her recovery in 4 minutes. And students at an Eau Claire elementary school are teaming up to help those affected by the recent hurricanes. See the Change for Change project tonight on Live at 5.
From WQOW, this is Eau Claire's own News 18 Live at 5.
Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. I'm Katie Fernutton. Another political visit will be happening in western Wisconsin this weekend.
From your hometown news leader, this is News 4 at 6.
Good Friday evening, everyone. I'm Kinsley Centers. Thank you for joining me tonight for News 4 at 6.
7 News Detroit at 7 starts right now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 7. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Mike Duffy. We begin tonight with the Battleground Blitz in full force in Michigan, with just 4 days to go until voters head to the polls to elect our next president.
Both campaigns are holding events across our state today. Former President Trump held a rally in Warren and visited Dearborn earlier today. His running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, held a rally in Portage. And Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz rallied voters in Taylor.
We have Team 7 coverage for you tonight.
Breaking news, first alert weather, live local coverage. This is News 10 at 11.
Every candidate in the race for the White House is leaving footprints in Michigan this weekend. Good evening, I'm Amaya Kaznicki. It shows just how important our battleground state is and will be in Tuesday's presidential election.
Right now at 10, presidential nominees make a final swing through southeast Wisconsin before Election Day. They're closing messages to voters.
This man came knowing what he was going to do that day.
And a Milwaukee teacher attacked by a parent inside her classroom. What she says set off the assault.
And we've got both sunshine and rain in your weekend forecast. We'll break down the timing and the temperatures still ahead.
More reporters where you live. More local voices. This is TMJ4 News at 10.
It's great to be in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, are we ready to do this?
First at 10, presidential nominees make their final pitch to Wisconsin voters before Election Day.
Live from the area's most trusted news source and the region's only first alert weather team. This is Weekend News Now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Zempel. First at 10, a Rochester teen sustained serious injuries today in a UTV crash.
Your news now on WTWO with Julia Prickett, meteorologist Dan Reynolds, and sports with Jack Verney.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Dan Brown. We are off to a cold start this morning and a chilly but seasonable day on the way. Full forecast coming up.
Brush fires continue to pop up across Western Mass, with a few alone over the weekend. I'm Matt Price. All the latest just ahead.
Plus, it's the final campaign push as Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are in key swing states. I'm Taylor Smith with what's at stake as we head into Election Day.
The violence in the Middle East is on the minds of voters as they head to the ballot box. How Mideast policy could impact this election.
And just ahead, crews responding to a structure fire in Springfield last night. We're taking a look at that scene as Western Mass News at 6 this morning starts right now.
Getting answers for Western Massachusetts. This is Western Mass News.
Now let's start by taking a live look outside on this Monday, November 4th. Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us here on Western Mass News at 6 a.m. I'm David Horowitz.
And I'm Amanda Martin Ryan. It's a very cold start out there this morning.
Plus, a Mankato construction company will soon be welcomed into the Business Hall of Fame.
And we have some showers in the area today and some murky weather to kick off the week. Details on eventually some sunshine are coming up in your First Alert forecast.
Live from the area's most trusted news source and the region's only First Alert weather team, this is Morning News Now.
Good morning on this Monday. We hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm Jess Abrahamson.
And I'm Kelsey Marrier. Good morning and welcome to Monday. We're starting off a new work week and school week, and we also want to give a new warm welcome to our viewers out of the Mankato area. Our morning show is now being broadcast over the air and on streaming platforms across more of southern Minnesota, which is such a privilege. So we are honored to have our news coverage expand, bringing you, our local viewers, as well as our new friends, the news that matters and the news that's happening right now to just really help you prepare for your day, especially with the forecast. So we hope you stay with us, and we look forward to getting to know you. Ted, we're starting off the week on kind of a foggy gray note.
Welcome to Midwest Access. I'm your host, Jesse Allison, and I'm joined by Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen today. Well, we turned the page, Halloween. Now it's holiday time.
No, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas time?
Yeah, you skip over everything else. It's Christmas.
Really?
Thanks for watching today at 4. You can join us again tomorrow. News 9 at 5 starts now.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Still some rain out there, but that severe weather is making its way out of Oklahoma. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amanda Taylor.
And I'm Carl Torp. We saw multiple waves of rain and storms leaving behind flooding and tornado damage in the metro. In fact, we're seeing new numbers. We saw 9 tornadoes in the past 48 hours. Chief Meteorologist David Payne joining us now from the Bob Mills Weather Center.
All right, guys. Yeah, you know what? It was wild. Saturday night, Sunday morning. It was wild this morning with tornado warnings here in Oklahoma City. Started right when the kids were trying to get on the buses and trying to get to school and all that going on.
All eyes are on Pittsburgh as both presidential candidates deliver their closing arguments. Election Day is now just hours away.
We're live as both presidential candidates are in Western Pennsylvania for last-minute visits.
And both rallying voters. We're expecting crowds of 30,000.
Voter turnout should be high this cycle.
There's a lot more money that's being spent. We're all getting 30-plus text messages a day.
What one local elections director is asking voters to do before you head to your polling location tomorrow.
ATM smashed.
They're trying to bust it open, figuring, this must be pretty easy, and it's not.
Why we're told this wasn't going to be an easy steal.
Now, Channel 11 News. Coverage you can count on.
Election Day is almost here, and the path to the presidency goes right through Pittsburgh. Both candidates are here and will be shortly, with just hours until the polls open.
Newswatch 16 is sponsored by your local Ford stores. Hurry in today for the best offers, or check out Ford's full lineup at buyfordnow.com today. From WNEP, the news station, this is Newswatch 16 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Scott Schaefer.
And I'm Lisa Washington. Some county employees in Luzerne County will not report to Penn Place for work tomorrow morning. County leaders say they are taking extra steps to keep staff safe on Election Day.
Newswatch 16's Jack Culkin with why the changes are deemed necessary.